Hello Hanji Kidda, what's up people? Back with another video as we preview Man City versus Ipswich Town in the Premier League. Before we get into anything, you know we got to do the shout outs. Massive shout outs to Angel Care Homes for all your care needs in the Black Country and Birmingham area. Massive shout outs to Mark Darcy for all your formal menswear needs. And of course the Desi Ballers, highlighting all South Asians at all levels of the beautiful game. I'll put their details in the description, so make sure you check them out. And like always, make sure you smash that like button, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and turn the notifications on. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We launched it last December and we're on our way, and we're hoping to have 1,000 subs by December this year. Smash the like, smash the sub, and let me deliver the content for you. But let's get to it then. So I'm old enough to remember when we used to be the favourites when we played Man City and they were the underdogs. In fact, I remember the last time we played them in the Prem, and actually the last time we played them in the Prem, we ended up relegating them. Before that, we had a bit of a rivalry, you know, the season before. So Town fans that are a bit younger may not remember. I'm going to give you a quick little trip down memory lane here. So I started following Town about 96, 97, and around that time, City, they were in like the old Division 2, which is like what we call League 1 now, right? So the Championship was Division 1, then you had Division 2. So then in the season we got promoted, we actually were very much like first and second most of the season, or actually second. We were pushing. We had a really good start and then went for a bit of a dip of form. And Man City, if memory serves me correct, Man City had just been promoted from the old Division 2. So they'd come up, kind of like what we've done now. They did back-to-back effectively. I think so. I need to double check that. If not, then they'd only been there for like one season. So it might have been their second season they got out there. But I think it might have been back-to-back. But anyway, they pipped us to second place. We obviously went up in the playoffs. And then the following season, we beat them twice. I think we beat them at their place. I think Stewart scored and Horiderson. And then at home, I think it was the last game of the season. Yeah, it was the last game of the season. So last game of the season at Portman Road, we beat them 2-1, which relegated them. And that was Holland and Roycer as well. So yeah, they went down. We had just finished 5th, missed out on Champions League at the time. But yeah, UEFA Cup, first season, and they were straight back down. We did end up playing them again after that. I think it might have been in the FA Cup or the old Coca-Cola Cup, like the old League Cup. And they beat us like 4-1, I think they battered us. So a little bit of revenge for them. But yeah, we were very much the dominant team when it come to that kind of era when I was following Ipswich, when I started following us. But obviously, we haven't played them in 20 plus years because, you know, the fortunes have changed. So we went down, went into administration, sold off our best players. And, you know, that's kind of floated around for 20 years before now kind of coming up in the last 3 years, a bit of a flame, a bit of a rising, if you like, you know, Phoenix rising. The little reference there to Game Changer and Brett's stuff. But yeah, we've now found ourselves on the up, but Man City are just light years ahead now. But the head-to-head is still favourable. So if I look at the head-to-head, it says, this is all games, so it's not just league, it's all games. So games drawn, 15 that we've drawn. Man City, they've won 23, and Ipswich, we've won 28. So we've edged it, you know, 5 games in the favour, and who knows, man, we may... Never, you know, I'm not saying we will, but you never know. We may make that 29 come sort of 5 o'clock tomorrow or whatever. So yeah, it'll be a very it'll be interesting because obviously football moves in cycles, and it's just the last time we played City, they were, you know, very much in our weight class, so to speak, and now they're, you know, arguably one of the, like I said, one of the best teams in the world. And yeah, as a club, it's going to be the first time that we go to the Etihad. Yes, myself and other fans, we ain't been to the Etihad, and it'll be our first time. But as a football club, it'll be the first time that Ipswich Town go to the Etihad. Like I said, last time we played City, they were at Main Road. Never been there. I know our women's team played Man City in the FA Cup a few years ago, but I don't believe that was there. So in terms of lineups then, for us, I think in goal, I think Muric will come in. I think last week it was a late fitness test. I think Christian Walton only got told like a couple of hours before kickoff or whatever. I think it'd be the same back four we saw against Liverpool. And to be honest, I think it's going to be the same lineup. So I think, yeah, left back Leif Davis, Jacob Greaves left centre back with Luke Wolfenden, right back Axel Tuanzebe, Massimo Luongo with Super Sam Morsy. Like I said, that Sammy v Gundo battle is going to be amazing. I think up front we may change it slightly because obviously Burns has gone out of an injury, so I think we'll see Amari play on his favoured right position, and I think that's where he shines. He did very well against Liverpool. So to see him in his strongest position, kind of cutting in and all the rest of it, he's certainly have some shots tomorrow. And I think, yeah, you'll have Chappers, number 10. Again, I thought he did well. I know a bit of a weird vibe with Chappers on socials, but that's why we don't need to pay attention to him too much. But I thought he did quite well last week. I think he had a few critics, but I think what you need in the league, and especially being able to press, Chaplin's really good at that, especially with his energy levels. So yeah, Chaplin number 10 for me. So on the left, I think this kind of determines what type of role we're going for. Yes, we got Sammy Schmodic, and I thought Smodic. Sorry, I gotta pronounce that properly. But yes, we've got him, and I thought he played really well against Liverpool. Really bright, really good runner as well. But I think you'll end up playing Marcus Harness because I think. And again, I haven't seen enough of Sammy Schmodic to say whether he is or isn't, but I've seen enough of Marcus Harness to say actually that defensive side of it, he's really good at that. So he's good at the tracking back. He's good at 1v1 defending. He's good at kind of, if you watch Marcus play, like certainly like on the when he's out on the wing rather than the 10 role, when he's defending, he does want to show people down the line, which is probably what we need to do. And I think the game plan will be, let them try and cross the ball in, and let's have Wolfie and Greaves and Muric or whatever deal with everything that comes in the box. But yeah, I think it would make sense to do that and then maybe bring on Schmodic after. And, again, maybe come the Brighton game, Schmodic is starting in that role. But yeah, and then up front, Delap. Had a bit of a slow pre-season, but last week against Liverpool, again, one of the standout players. I didn't realise how quick the lad was. I only saw him play once because I didn't watch the whole game at home last season. So I saw him play when we played Hull away. And obviously he comes off at half-time. Well, he comes on at half-time and scores the goal, doesn't he? But, he looked like a strong player, good touch and all the rest of it. But he didn't look there. He had the pace. Yeah, last week, that boy was showing pace. And, got into the box a couple of times really well. Just think he needs to be a bit more selfish. And as long as the occasion doesn't get to him, because obviously you're going back to the club that you sold from or whatever, as long as the occasion don't get to him, I think he's going to have a really, really good game. So then in terms of football and what can we expect? Well, come on, man. Like most of you have seen what Man City are about. Pep's influence in the game has been massive. Goalkeepers are now have to play with their feet. That's an influence Pep brought over. This tiki-taka and all the rest of it. This is what they call it, Genga press, Ginger press, I don't know how to pronounce it. But all that kind of stuff, massive influences that he's brought over to the game, which we're seeing in our football as well. So it'll be interesting, to see how he comes up because, yes, Pep Guardiola is a very good manager, arguably one of the best in the world, right? But McKenna is one of the best young managers in the game in world football, right? Let's be very clear. Like, what Pep has achieved is massive, but in the next 10 years, McKenna will achieve similar levels. Like he will have league titles, European titles and stuff because he's that good of a manager. So it's going to be really interesting to see that kind of battle of wits or, manager masterclass or whatever. So I'm, really looking forward to that. There'll be some good individual battles. I think if we look at how they played against Chelsea, obviously they had like a bit of, was it like a 3-2-4-1 or something like that? 3-2-4-1, is that maths right? Yeah, that's right. They had a 3-2-4-1, I think it looked like, where the two kind of like Rico Lewis kind of dropped as a fullback. I think they'll probably go to their kind of, is it a 4-3-3 that they play or something, or I'll be honest, I don't really think they have like set formations. I think they're just so fluid with it. And everyone just knows their job and responsibility is really drilled into it. But obviously they were missing the likes of Foden. Obviously he come off the bench, but he wasn't starting. They were missing Kyle Walker, John Stones as well. He was missing. You know, all those guys had a really good Euro. So to be honest, if I was Pep, I'm probably bringing Kyle Walker in, because if you got to go up against Amari Hutchinson, then you got to bring the best in, and that would be a good battle to see. Kind of Hutchinson v Kyle Walker, and that's what we want to see in it. We're in the Premier League, and that's what these players want as well. So it'd be good to see how Amari tests himself against arguably one of the best right backs in the world. Obviously another player on their wide players, Doku. He's a really good player, one of the best wingers in the game, certainly in the league. I think he was playing on the right during the Chelsea game. So if that's the case, it'll be a very good battle for him against Leif Davis. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, because certainly if we look at that first half against Liverpool, I thought Davis did really well against Salah and Jota. And okay, we won't get into the detail of the goal and stuff like that. That's Premier League, and I'm sure Leif will learn from it. We all remember Leif's debut against Bolton where he gave the penalty away, and now he went on, people after that game said he's not good enough and all the rest of it. I may have been one of them, I don't know, I can't remember. But, he's now gone and absolutely smashed it for us, and, arguably one of the first names on the team sheets. So yeah, that'll be a good battle. And the midfield battle, I'm looking forward to this. And you know what? Pep's shook. Like, genuinely, Pep Guardiola is shook. Like, he was on the phone to his ownership group saying, get me Gundo back ASAP, because right now, I've got to play Sammy Morsey. Like, I've got to put a team in midfield against Sammy Morsey, and he's just going to eat my midfield alive. The man can turn on a diamond. He can find a pass. He'll win everything. Like, I need someone to battle. So they went and bought Gundo back, and yeah, what a player, man. Like, he's in that position, he's one of the best in the world. Gundo v Sammy, that'll be a really good battle as well. And of course, they call him a robot or whatever, but Haaland, I thought Greaves and Wolfie had a really good game last week. But Haaland is world class, so it's going to be really interesting, because I rate our centre-back pairing. They're going to be hungry. From what we learned from last week, it's just staying switched on. It's that concentration and being able to stay alert and on it for 90 minutes. And you know what? If I think back to us when McKenna first come in, we'll be all right, because when we first come in, we used to talk about that end of that last season, like McKenna's first season. It was why can't we pay for more than 45 minutes? Why do we only play for 60 minutes? And then if you think about now, like especially last season, how many times we're playing till 90, 91, 92, 93, 100 minutes or whatever, right? So we're on it till the end. All that will come in due time. And I think with the signings that have come through the door, obviously Clark's about to get announced. Broja, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll have to learn that. That's due to be completed as well. That Dara lad, the defender, he's due to be signing as well. And I think that'll be our transfer window done, and then get to the international break, and really 2 weeks solid on the training pitch. And I think come the Fulham game will be good, but also come Brighton, when we come Brighton away, I think that's when we're really going to see this Kieran McKenna Ipswich Town Premier League team. But yeah, it's mad, innit? Like 3 years ago we was playing Morecambe, now we're at Man City. I'm just trying to think. Last time we used to go up to that part of the world with play teams like your Boltons, I guess Fleetwood's nearby, Blackpool, Preston weren't far. Morecambe weren't far from there as well. So, even like Blackburn, we played them last year. Accrington, Stanley. Who were they? Yeah, Accrington Stanley. I remember going up that M6 before when we played Accrington Stanley, and your likes of your Sammy Morseys are in the team. And now we're going up the M6 and we're going to go play Man City. So yeah, man, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. You know, whatever the score's going to be, whether it's a Jacob Greaves and Amari Hutchinson goal that wins it for us or draws it or gets us a point or whatever, or it's a Haaland masterclass and we've just been smashed as well. But, you know, whatever the outcome is, the thing I do know is that the lads that will be on that pitch for us will leave everything out there. There will be no lack of effort. And as long as that's happening, all we have to do in the stand is sing our hearts out. So if you are going to the game tomorrow, then make sure you sing loud, make sure you back the team. And just remember, 3 years ago, look where we were. Right now we're in the Premier League. It's not going to happen overnight. We're playing the best team in the world. We're not going to play the Man Cities and your Liverpools every week. You know, so we've had a really good transfer window. Got to, again, rate Ashton and Luke Weir in the team on that. But had a really, really good transfer window. Couple more missing pieces, which will get done in the next couple of days. And like I said, come that Brighton game, we will be ready to go. And we might see a little preview tomorrow at the Etihad. But yeah, man, I'll see you there tomorrow.